Time now 7:38 for travellers on budget airlines. The stress of squeezing everything into a cabin-sized suitcase could be about to get a little bit worse, or maybe just a bit more confusing.
Because today EasyJet has introduced a two-tier system for its carry-on luggage. You can stick with the current size, but the trouble is, if the cabin is full of bags, then it may have to be put in the hold. You could then use a smaller bag, and that will guarantee that it stays in the cabin with you.
We're talking to a travel journalist and EasyJet in just a moment. First, though, let's find out about your biggest baggage bugbears.
Carol, back with you later.
7:49 the time. Let's talk about things that are being made, possibly here in the UK. Manufacturing, we're told, has been picking up. And maybe that's a good thing, Tom.
Yeah, it is.
53 the time. If you catch the train to work, like many people do, you'll know how frustrating it is when it's not running on time. Some rail companies are turning to another form of transport, one that's poles apart from their own, for tips on how to make sure their service is more reliable.
Pit stops, energy-saving brakes and computers which highlight faults, all techniques learned from the world of Formula One, which could soon transform your daily commute. Here's our transport correspondent, Richard Westcott. Sally and Carol, thank you.
Good morning. First, our main story this morning. Wales is likely to become the first part of the UK to introduce a system where people are presumed to consent to organ donation unless they make their objections known in advance. Welsh Assembly members vote on a change in the law today.
Ministers believe the change could result in a 25% increase in the number of transplant operations. But some faith leaders, including the Archbishop of Wales, oppose the changes.
A former Manchester City footballer who caused the deaths of a brother and sister when he hit their car at high speed is back in prison this morning after being released by mistake. Let's see, 8:21 is the time. A couple of weeks ago, you might remember, we brought you the story of Janan Gabar, who escaped the civil war in Syria and is now living in Leicester. Janan has joint British-Syrian nationality. Tough new immigration rules mean her husband can't get a visa to visit his family.
Well, the government says it's cutting out abuse of the system, but the rules have been criticised by the Children's Commissioner, who says children are being separated from their parents. Graham Satchell has been back to see Jenan and her children.